Once upon a time, far, far away, nestled amongst rolling hills of lavender that stretched as far as the eye could see, and sugarplum trees that bore fruit sweeter than any honey, lived a tiny snail named Shelly. Now, Shelly wasn't just any snail. She wasn't your garden variety gastropod. She had a shell that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, a swirling kaleidoscope of hues that shifted and changed with the light, mesmerizing anyone who looked upon it. But even more remarkable than her radiant shell was her dream. She dreamt of flying. Yes, flying, an ambition unheard of in the snail community, a pursuit considered utterly impossible. For generations, snails had been content with their grounded existence, appreciating the world from a low vantage point, their slow and steady pace a meditative rhythm in the grand symphony of nature. Flying was for birds, for bees, for creatures blessed with wings and the innate understanding of aerodynamics. But Shelly, with her vibrant spirit and unwavering imagination, dared to defy convention, dared to dream beyond the limitations of her species. Shelly lived in a cozy little mushroom house, a charming dwelling crafted from a toadstool cap discarded by a passing pixie, its walls lined with soft moss and illuminated by the gentle glow of fireflies. This wasn't just a home, it was a sanctuary, a haven where dreams were nurtured and possibilities embraced. And she shared this idyllic abode with her best friend, Bartholomew Bumble, a fuzzy, bumbling bee with a heart as sweet as honey. Bartholomew wasn't just any bee either. He was a descendant of a long line of explorer bees, renowned for their adventurous spirits and encyclopedic knowledge of the surrounding lands. He possessed an insatiable curiosity and an unwavering loyalty, making him the perfect companion for Shelley's audacious dreams. Bartholomew loved to zip around the lavender fields, his tiny wings ablur as he collected nectar, the golden liquid that fueled his tireless energy. But more than the nectar, he loved sharing stories with Shelley, tales of the world beyond the rolling hills, of shimmering waterfalls and crystal-clear rivers, of towering mountains and hidden valleys. He painted vivid pictures with his words, igniting Shelley's imagination and fueling her desire to see these wonders for herself. One sunny morning, as the dew still clung to the petals of the lavender blossoms, Shelley sighed, a sound that carried the weight of unfulfilled longing. "Oh, Bartholomew," she said, her voice small, almost a whisper, "I wish I could fly like you. I want to see the world from above. I want to experience the freedom of the sky, the thrill of the wind beneath well, if I had wings, beneath my wings." Bartholomew buzzed closer, his antennae twitching with concern. He understood Shelley's yearning, but he also knew the harsh realities of their world. "But Shelley," he said gently, "snails don't fly. It's just not in our nature. You're meant to glide along the ground, admiring the flowers and the juicy leaves, appreciating the small wonders that others often overlook." I know," Shelley said, her voice laced with a hint of frustration. "But I can't help but dream. It's not a choice, Bartholomew. It's a part of who I am. I want to see the shimmering crystal river and the whispering waterfall that you told me about. I want to see them with my own eyes, not just through your stories. I want to feel the spray of the waterfall on my shell, to see the river sparkling under the sunlight." Bartholomew thought for a moment, his tiny bee brain whirring, considering the seemingly insurmountable obstacle. He knew Shelley's determination, but he also understood the limitations of her snail physiology. He had to find a solution, a way to bridge the gap between her dreams and reality. He said, his voice thoughtful. "Maybe, just maybe, there's a way." He remembered an old tale his grandmother, Beatrice Bumble, used to tell him. Beatrice was a legendary storyteller, her tales woven with magic and wonder, passed down through generations of bumblebees. This particular tale spoke of a magical flutter flower that bloomed only once every 100 years on the highest hill, a flower whose petals granted the power of flight to whoever touched them with a pure heart and unwavering desire. The story was considered more myth than reality, a fanciful legend meant to inspire hope in the face of adversity. "Shelly!" Bartholomew exclaimed, his voice filled with newfound excitement. "I've heard of a flutterflower. Legend says it can grant wishes, even the wish to fly. It only blooms on the highest hill, the tallest peak in all the land, and it's said to bloom tonight under the soft moonlight, its petals shimmering with celestial magic." Shelly's eyes widened, her heart pounding with a mixture of hope and disbelief. Could such a thing truly exist? Could her dream actually be within reach? "Really, Bartholomew? A flutterflower? Do you think we could find it? Do you think it could actually grant me wings?" Bartholomew buzzed with excitement, his wings vibrating with anticipation. "Of course! We'll go on an adventure. It will be a grand expedition, a journey filled with challenges and wonders. I'll guide you using my knowledge of the land and my aerial advantage, and together we'll find that flutterflower. We'll prove that anything is possible if you believe in your dreams." And so their adventure began. Shelly slowly but surely began to inch her way out of her mushroom house. It was a momentous occasion, a symbolic step towards fulfilling her lifelong dream. The morning dew clung to the grass, making it sparkle like tiny diamonds, each drop reflecting the boundless possibilities that lay ahead. Bartholomew flew ahead, scouting the path, his sharp eyes searching for any potential obstacles or dangers. "Careful, Shelly," he called back, his voice carrying on the gentle breeze. "There's a bumpy patch of pebbles ahead. Try to go around it. They could scratch your beautiful shell." Shelly carefully maneuvered her way around the pebbles, her little snail body wobbling slightly. It was slow going, a painstaking process that required immense patience and determination. But she was undeterred, her focus unwavering. Each inch forward was a victory, a testament to her indomitable spirit. As they traveled, they met all sorts of friendly creatures, each with their own unique personalities and perspectives. A family of ladybugs, with their bright red shells and polka dots, wished them luck, their tiny voices chirping with encouragement. A wise old grasshopper, with his long green legs and insightful gaze, offered them advice, sharing his knowledge of the terrain and the challenges they might face. "To reach the highest hill," the grasshopper chirped, his voice raspy with age, "you must first cross the Giggling Gorge. It is a perilous passage, a test of courage and resilience. But be careful, the bridge is made of ticklish vines. One wrong step and you'll be sent into fits of laughter, losing your balance and potentially falling into the ravine below." Shelly and Bartholomew thanked the grasshopper for his valuable advice and continued on their way, their hearts filled with both anticipation and trepidation. Soon they arrived at the Giggling Gorge. It was a deep ravine, its steep sides covered in lush vegetation, creating a dramatic and imposing landscape. And the bridge, as the grasshopper had warned, was indeed made of twisting, turning vines, each one seemingly alive with its own mischievous energy. "Oh dear," Shelly said nervously, her voice trembling slightly. "Those vines look very ticklish. I don't know if I can do this, Bartholomew. I'm afraid I'll fall." Bartholomew buzzed around her head, offering reassurance and encouragement. "Don't worry, Shelly," he said, his voice filled with confidence. "I'll go first and try to keep the vines still. I'll use my wings to create a gentle breeze, calming their playful nature. You just follow me slowly, one careful step at a time." Bartholomew carefully landed on the first vine. As soon as his tiny bee feet touched it, the vine started to wiggle and giggle, its playful energy almost overwhelming. He quickly flew to the next vine, trying his best not to disturb them, his wings working tirelessly to maintain a sense of calm. Shelly slowly started to cross the bridge, her little snail body trembling with each movement. Every time she touched a vine, it would erupt in a fit of giggles, making her lose her balance and threatening to send her tumbling into the gorge below. "Hee hee, hee, ho ho," the vines chuckled, their laughter echoing through the ravine. Bartholomew kept encouraging her, his voice a beacon of hope in the midst of the chaos. "Just a little further, Shelly. You're doing great. Try to focus on the other side. Imagine yourself flying, soaring through the sky. That will help you stay focused and balanced." With a final push, fueled by her unwavering determination and the unwavering support of her friend, Shelly reached the other side of the giggling gorge. She was exhausted, her body aching from the effort, but she had made it. She had overcome a seemingly insurmountable obstacle, proving that even the smallest creature could achieve great things with courage and perseverance. "We did it, Bartholomew!" she exclaimed, panting slightly, her voice filled with triumph. "We crossed the giggling gorge!" Bartholomew buzzed around her excitedly, his joy palpable. "I knew you could do it, Shelly. You're so brave. You're the most resilient snail I know." As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, a breathtaking panorama that stretched across the horizon, they finally reached the foot of the highest hill. It was a steep climb, its slopes covered in rocks and thorny bushes, and Shelly was starting to feel tired, her energy reserves dwindling. "Oh, Bartholomew," she said, her voice weak, her spirit momentarily flagging, "I don't know if I can go on. It's too steep. My shell feels so heavy, and my body is so tired." Bartholomew landed on her shell, his presence a comforting weight, a reminder of their shared purpose. "I know you're tired, Shelly," he said gently, his voice filled with empathy. "But we're almost there, just a little bit further. Think of the flutter flower and think of flying. Imagine yourself soaring through the sky, feeling the wind beneath your wings. That dream will give you the strength to keep going." Shelly took a deep breath, summoning the last of her reserves, and started to climb again. Bartholomew flew beside her, offering words of encouragement, reminding her of her dream and sharing stories of his own adventures. "One little inch at a time, Shelly. You've got this. See the fireflies beginning to glow? They're guiding us towards the flutterflower. The moonlight will be out soon, bathing the hill in its magical glow, leading us to our destination." Finally, after what seemed like forever, after an arduous climb that tested her limits, they reached the top of the highest hill. And there, bathed in the soft silver moonlight, was the flutterflower. It was the most beautiful flower Shelly had ever seen. Its petals shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, even more vibrant and dazzling than her own shell, and it glowed with a gentle, magical light, radiating warmth and hope. A soft, sweet scent filled the air, a fragrance that spoke of dreams and possibilities. "Wow," Shelly whispered, her eyes wide with wonder, her voice filled with awe. "It's even more beautiful than I imagined. It's breathtaking." Bartholomew buzzed around the flower, his antennae twitching with excitement. "Go on, Shelly," he said. "Make your wish. touch a petal. Let the magic of the flutter flower transform your dream into reality." Shelly slowly reached out her little snail foot and gently touched one of the shimmering petals. As she did, a warm, tingly feeling spread throughout her body, a sensation of pure magic and boundless potential. She closed her eyes and made her wish, pouring all her hopes and dreams into that single heartfelt desire. I wish I could fly, just for a little while, to see the world from above. I want to experience the freedom of the sky, to feel the wind beneath my wings, to see the world from a new perspective." When she opened her eyes, she felt lighter somehow. She looked at her shell, and to her amazement, 2 tiny iridescent wings had sprouted from it. They shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, mirroring the beauty of the flutter flower. "Bartholomew!" she exclaimed, her voice filled with disbelief and joy. "I have wings! I can fly!" Bartholomew buzzed with joy, his wings beating faster than ever before. "I knew it! The flutter flower granted your wish! You did it, Shelly! You actually did it!" Shelly took a deep breath and spread her wings. They fluttered gently at first, then with increasing strength, lifting her off the ground. She soared into the air, flying alongside Bartholomew, her dream finally realized. "I'm flying! I'm really flying!" she cried, her voice filled with unadulterated delight. She flew over the lavender fields, the sugarplum trees, and the rolling hills. She saw the shimmering crystal river and the whispering waterfall, just as Bartholomew had described them, but even more magnificent than she had imagined. Everything looked so different from above, so beautiful and magical, a tapestry of colors and textures that she had never seen before. She twirled and looped, laughing with glee, her heart filled with pure, unadulterated joy. The soft moonlight bathed the world in silver, creating a dreamlike landscape. It was the most amazing experience of her life, a moment she would cherish forever. After a while, Shelly began to feel tired. Her wings felt heavy, and she knew it was time to come down, to return to the earth and reflect on her incredible adventure. She landed gently on the highest hill, next to the flutter flower, her wings slowly disappearing, fading back into her shell. She was once again a little snail with a rainbow shell, but she was no longer the same snail who had dreamt of flying. She had tasted freedom. She had experienced the world from a new perspective, and she had proven that anything is possible if you believe in your dreams. "Thank you, Bartholomew," she said, her voice full of gratitude. "This has been the most wonderful adventure ever. Thank you for helping me find the flutter flower, for believing in me even when I doubted myself." Bartholomew nuzzled her with his fuzzy head, his affection unwavering. "You're welcome, Shelly," he said. "I'm so glad you got to fly. You deserved it. You're an inspiration to us all." They sat together on the hill, watching the stars twinkle in the night sky, their brilliance a testament to the infinite possibilities of the universe. The air was filled with the gentle scent of lavender and the sweet scent of the flutter flower, a fragrant symphony that soothed their souls. Shelly felt peaceful and content, her heart overflowing with gratitude. As the night grew darker, casting long shadows across the landscape, Shelly started to feel sleepy. She yawned and snuggled close to Bartholomew, seeking warmth and comfort. "I'm so tired," she murmured, her voice barely audible. Bartholomew settled down beside her, his wings tucked in, his presence a comforting reassurance. "Me too," he said. "It's been a long day, a day filled with adventure and wonder." Shelly closed her eyes, her rainbow shell shimmering in the moonlight, her dreams already filled with images of flying through the night sky, of soaring over lavender fields and sugarplum trees. She dreamt of the shimmering crystal river and the whispering waterfall, of the magical flutterflower and the unwavering friendship that had made it all possible. Bartholomew buzzed softly beside her, his wings tucked in, his dreams mirroring her own. He dreamt of flying alongside Shelly, of their amazing adventure, of the power of believing in dreams. The moon shone brightly, casting a soft, warm glow over the highest hill, illuminating the sleeping friends. The wind rustled gently through the lavender fields, singing a lullaby, a melody of peace and tranquility. All was peaceful and quiet. Shelly and Bartholomew were fast asleep, their dreams filled with wonder and magic. The flutterflower glowed softly, watching over them, its petals shimmering with celestial light, ensuring their peaceful slumber. The world was safe and sound, cradled in the arms of the night. Good night.